Hi guys, welcome back to Closet Meditations with KB. I'm KB and this is my closet. This is part 2 of a 3-part video series of meditations that are beginner friendly. In today's practice, we'll play with what's called an anchor. Not like the ones you see on SpongeBob. A little bit different. So actually they're very similar. Building on that concept of being present and using mindfulness to meditate. So we're still building on that concept of trying to be present. And I just want to remind you that there's so many different exercises that you could do in meditation. There's so many different approaches to it. And so this mini series is just to kind of expose you to some that are my favorites and some that I think have a good entry point for beginners. Today we'll be playing with anchors, which you could also call a point of focus. And specifically today, your anchor will be your breath. Breathe. She's not breathing. Right, so in the last practice we did a body scan and we had multiple anchors. We first put our attention on our feet and then moved our attention to the upper legs and then the hips. And at each point that you chose to move your attention, you changed your anchor or point of focus. To me, being present is like being focused and being concentrated with intention in a way that is open and sincere. It's not the kind of concentration that you would use like for a test or something like that. It's more like the kind of concentration when you're talking to a loved one, or rather when you're listening to a loved one talk.
Next time, open your ears because I didn't even call you a bitch.
It's open-minded, non-judgmental, and it is without distraction. So we practice this in meditation so that soon we can start to recruit it as often as we need. Today specifically, we'll use breath as an anchor by way of 3-part breath. While we're seated or laying down, I'll ask you to be mindful of how the air travels in and out of your body. Let's just give it a try first. If you like, you can close down your eyes. Maybe get some wiggles in. We'll just practice a couple breaths together before we jump into the meditation portion. First, just take a normal inhale. Really fill up your lower belly. And then open mouth exhale. Let's do one more like that. Big breath in. Complete breath out. Keep the depth of your breath, but feel now as you inhale how the air travels down to your low belly. And then your ribs kind of widen. And then finally your chest is topped off with air. Can you follow it on the way out? So empty out your belly. And then your ribs. And finally your chest. And let's try again. Maybe yours is a little bit shorter or a little bit longer than mine, and that's just fine. A bit big belly, breath in. And then the ribs. Finally your chest. Out, belly, ribs, and then the chest and the shoulders relax. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or flutter them open now. That is the exercise we'll use today throughout meditation. You could be seated, you could be lying down. Above all else, I really encourage you to decenter performance in this kind of work. It's not about keeping up with me. It's not even really about where you keep your mind. Rather, it's just that effort in the direction of becoming more mindful. It's just that effort of self-care. That intention alone really is enough to nourish you, to take you in the direction of feeling a little bit of feeling a little bit better with living life just one moment at a time. Let's begin. Pick any position that's comfortable for you. Option to close your eyes. You don't have to. Get out some wiggles, get in some wiggles, and just know you can move throughout the practice as well. Taking these first few moments to just arrive. We'll take 3 normal breaths first. So breath in through your nose. Breathe out. In through the nose. Out through the lips. One more without rushing. I'll continue to guide you, but this work is your own, so move at a pace that feels comfortable. Take a belly breath in. Feel your ribs. Feel your chest. And then empty belly, ribs, chest. Breathe in, belly, ribs, chest. Breathe out, belly, ribs, chest. Let's keep going. Belly, ribs, chest. Maybe feeling some energy rise. Not tension, but just uplifting. And then empty belly, ribs, chest. Feeling that softness, how they kind of balance each other out. Belly, ribs, chest, empty belly, ribs, chest. Couple more on your own now. Finding again a rhythm that feels sustainable for you. Natural for you. Notice where your mind goes. And just one more exhale here. Now take a regular inhale. And exhale. As we exit practice, these last few moments, you just kind of coast on whatever vibe you've now created for yourself. Noticing if it's different, what's new here. Maybe feeling more calm, more here, less scattered within your mind. Maybe not. But how can you tell? And slowly fluttering the eyes back open if they closed. Coming back into the room with ease. As always, take a moment to observe how you're feeling now. You could journal, you could simply think about it. Maybe you're feeling really good and you want to linger in it. If your mind wandered throughout practice, again, that's totally normal. Our brains do that constantly to protect us. What we're doing here is in some ways almost against our nature. We are making an effort to be more mindful with how we exist so that we can receive the benefit of being more calm, experiencing more clarity, and making decisions from a place that is more settled so that we can show up better for ourselves and the people we love. This kind of work takes so much practice, and luckily there's no rush to get there. You get no cookies for getting there sooner than someone else or later. So give yourself the gift of time, return as often as you need. be gentle with yourselves. I appreciate you for being here. My name's KB. This is my closet. And I'll see you next time.